Get myself together. Okay, good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by a jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense. And you also have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you're in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, could everyone raise their right hand for me, please? These swear affirming statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God. Okay, let's get started on the ladies' side. I believe Miss Bailey is going to be the first person. Miss Bailey, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
You're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're also charged with failure to stop. Bond's going to be set at $500. Because he's a misdemeanor, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 in the morning. However, if you post bond, that date is going to get waived and you'll have a new court date sent to you in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, ma'am.
Can you say that one more time?
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am. You're free to go back. Ms. Brown? I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown, you charged with 1 count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $4,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd, 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. It's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Maisha McQueen. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
How long?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
How long will I have to stay away from the person?
So right now, that's set as a condition of bond. So as long as this case is pending, that provision will be in place. If there is a change in that condition, a judge will have to sign off on it. So if Miss McQueen, if she wants this to be changed, she can contact the solicitor's office. They will do their own independent investigation. And if they determine that this condition should be changed, they will make that request of the court. But you are not in a position to advocate for that. Do you understand that? So I'm meeting you for the first time. I don't know other than what was presented, what happened, but at this point, you should govern yourself accordingly. And what I mean by that is that this stay away provision, if you violate it, you could face aggravated stalking charges, which is a felony where bond is denied. So have I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay. You're free to go back. Give me 1 second. No, stay there. You Miss Paul?
Yes.
Okay, stay there. All right. I got the message, and we'll deal with the person accordingly. So
Yes, Your Honor.
thank you. Ms. Polk, ma'am, you're charged 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol. Bond's gonna be set at $5,000. You're charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle with no insurance. Bond's set at $1,000. You're also charged with knowingly driving a vehicle with a suspended registration. There is a separate charge that did not make it onto your bond, and that appears to be bond order. I'm sorry. That appears to be following too close. I'm going to set that bond at $500, and I'm going to write it in on your bond paperwork, just so you can be able to bond yourself out and get yourself out of jail today. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will be waived once you bond out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Give me 1 second. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back. Miss Petty? Miss Petty, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of terroristic threats or acts, and this is being charged as a felony. I've set a bond at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will have a we'll receive a new court date in the mail. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, and stay away from Althea McIndoe. Do you understand that?
Yes, that's my nephew and niece's mom.
Okay.
I
So
haven't seen them for years. This is an old warrant. I couldn't turn myself in at the time because I didn't have nobody to watch my kids.
I understand, and it looks like it was what, from 2017?
Yes, I haven't seen them ever since.
Okay. But you do understand that you're not to have any contact with them.
Yes, but to be honest with you, we have seen each other throughout the years that I have not been able to turn myself in. We have met up, the kids and me, her, and the kids met up at the skating rink. We don't really speak, but we have seen each other and stuff. It haven't been a problem. But I know to stay away from them.
Okay. And I'll make a comment on that in a moment, but do you want me to see if you qualify for the
Yes.
appointment of a lawyer? You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, this whole thing of terroristic threats, it is a crime. And you're free to voice your opinion about whatever you think. But try to just keep it civil. Okay. Can you do that for me, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. You have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am. You're free to go back. Ms. Stanley.
Judge, how much you said my bond was?
5,000. Miss Stanley, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. This is a misdemeanor offense. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. There's a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Anisha bail. Do you understand that? Do you have any questions about that? I'm sorry, ma'am.
No.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
How much do you make per hour?
$15.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. You're free to go back.
Your Honor, that's all the females.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's switch over to the males. Hold on 1 second. I get myself together. We're gonna deal with Mr. Mahone last.
Yes, Your
Okay?
Honor.
Okay. Was that something, Mr. Ray, you wanted to let me know?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh. All right. We're gonna start with Mr. Alexander.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling, 1 count of entering automobile. The entering automobile is a felony offense. You're going to have a $1,000 bond set for the loitering or prowling, and you're going to have a $5,000 bond set on the entering automobile.
Okay.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Austin. Mr. Austin, sir, you're charged with several misdemeanor offenses, driving under the influence of alcohol. Bond's gonna be set at $5,000. A red light violation, bonds set at $500. It says improper or erratic lane change, bond's gonna be set at $500. Driving too fast for conditions, bond is set at $500. And reckless driving, bond is set at $1,500. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd on these offenses. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Austin?
I was supposed to start a new job today.
I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm sorry, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. You're free to go back, Mr. Austin. Mr. Berry.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Berry, sir. You're charged with several serious felonies. And I've granted bond on all of these offenses.
Yes, sir.
You're charged with one count of aggravated assault. I've set a bond of $15,000. You're charged one count of discharging firearm near a highway. That's a misdemeanor. You're charged with the bond is going to be $2,000.
Yes, sir.
Reckless conduct is also a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. Cruelty to children in the first degree. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. That's a felony offense.
Yes, sir.
And one count of possession of a weapon in the commission of a crime, which is also a felony offense. And bond is going to be set at $5,000.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th, 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon the bonding out, and you'll receive
Yes,
a
sir.
new court date in the mail. Would you like
Yes, sir.
me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Berry?
No, sir. I'm still in school.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. And I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
If I get a lawyer, can I fire the lawyer that you get?
Yes, sir.
That's my only question.
Okay. Just notify the lawyer that's been appointed
Yes, sir.
that you've hired another lawyer, and then that lawyer can move to withdraw and everything can be above board.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's it.
You're free to go back, Mr. Berry.
All right.
Mr. Fleming. Mr. Fleming, sir, you're charged with one count of loitering or prowling. Bond is set by schedule, which means it's automatically set at $1,000. You're also charged with one count of criminal trespass, and I've set the bond at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd, because these are two misdemeanor offenses. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fleming, are you currently working?
Sir.
I'm sorry.
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Fleming. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Fleming. Mr. Hayes.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. Hayes, sir. You're charged with some misdemeanor and some felony offenses. You're charged with one count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're charged with one count of false imprisonment. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. And you're charged with one count of aggravated assault. Bond is going to also be set at $10,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from an Anisha Aspel. Do you understand that, sir?
Yeah.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 4th. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the
Yes.
appointment? You said yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Hayes. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, sir. You're free to go back. Mr. Hoskins.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Hoskins. Sir, you're charged with one count of simple battery. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. That's a misdemeanor offense. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from it looked like the name was Michael or Michael Glover.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for January 3rd. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Looks like you refuse to fill out the form. Does that mean you're going to represent yourself, or you're going to hire your own lawyer?
Yes, sir. I'm going to hire my own lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Hoskins?
No, sir.
Okay. You're free to go back, sir. Mr. Jenkins.
Your Honor, Mr. Jenkins has court in another courtroom today, Your Honor.
Yes. Yes.
What do you like to do about that? Do you?
No. I'll do a continuance order, and we'll just bring him back tomorrow. Mr. James. Mr. James, sir, you've been charged with one count of false imprisonment. That's a felony offense. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. One count of aggravated assault. Bond's going to be set at $15,000. One count of battery. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. One count of cruelty to children in the third degree. Bond's going to be set at $2,000. One count of robbery. Bond's going to be set at $10,000. One count of obstructing or hindering an emergency phone call. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond.
Yes, sir.
To stay away from a Brandy Patterson. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure.
Are you currently working, Mr. James?
Yeah.
About how much do you make per hour? I'm sorry. 17? Okay. All right, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm sorry.
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. All right, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, sir, you're charged with one count of aggravated assault. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $20,000. You're charged with one count of discharging a firearm near a highway. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of reckless conduct. Bond set at $5,000. One count of cruelty to children in first degree. That's also a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. One count of possession of firearm or weapon during the commission of a crime. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. That's also a felony offense. And one count of theft by receiving stolen property. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon you bonding out, and you will receive a new court date in the mail. You're also going to have a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Derez Leonard and Nigel Mitchell, also an Xavier Wise. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You said no?
Yeah.
Okay.
You talking about court appointed lawyer? You
I'm sorry?
talking about court appointed lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm good.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, it's all right.
Okay. You're free to go back. Mr. Lawrence.
What's up?
Mr. Lawrence, sir, you're charged with several misdemeanor offenses, driving under the influence of alcohol. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. Reckless driving, bond's going to be set at $1,500. And I added an extra zero to that inadvertently. One count of too fast for conditions, bond is set at $500. Improper lane change, bond is set at $500. Expired driving vehicle with an expired tag, bond is set at $500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon you bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see? Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Lawrence? About how much do you make per hour?
24.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir,
Yes, sir.
to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. And we're going to hold Mr. Mahone until the end.
Yes, Your Honor.
So let's call Mr. McGrath.
You have Mr. Murphy in there, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Murphy.
Sir, I do have him.
Did you wait on him?
Well, I was going to call him next.
Okay. He's here.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. McGrath.
Mr. McGrath. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn it up a little loud just because he can't hear.
Okay.
He's an older gentleman.
Mr. McGrath, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, they can.
Okay. Sir, you're charged with one count of battery. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's also going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Jamie Holland. Do you understand that, sir?
Now, can you please repeat that?
There's a stay away provision on this bond to stay away.
Prevention? Is that what you said?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand his question.
Your Honor, he's repeating what you just said.
Okay, sir, you are currently going to be ordered to stay away from Jamie Holland. Do you understand that?
Who? Jamie, what?
Holland, Holland.
I don't know this person.
Okay. Do you recall being in a dispute with someone yesterday? In an argument, in a fight, or a dispute with the person yesterday?
Your Honor, I was assaulted and forcibly ejected from my home by the step of housing for affordable housing. 85.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that person that you had the dispute with yesterday is the person that I am ordering you to stay away from.
I'm at a loss. Place.
Okay, from my end, the audio is going in and out, so I don't really hear everything Mr. McGrath is saying.
Your Honor, he is stating that he doesn't know who this female is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, sir, you've been ordered to stay away from this person.
How am I to do that?
Are you seriously asking me how you're supposed to stay away from someone?
That I don't know, that I've never met. I don't know what you're talking about. How can I stay away from a person like that?
Well, the allegation is that you hit this person over the head with a black and orange elongated flashlight. So that's the allegation, sir.
Jamie Hunter? No, it wasn't Jamie Hunter. It was the fellow called CD, the house mister at.
Oh, sorry. Mr. McGrath, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. If you violate this bond condition, you will be arrested and held in jail without bond, charged with aggravated stalking. So I'm not going to go round and round with you about the allegation that brought you here. I don't know if you know the person or not. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Did he say yes or did he say no?
I said no.
Okay. You're free to go back, Mr. McGrath. Mr. Murphy. Mr. Murphy, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor offense. I'm going to set a bond at $3,000. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir. They said that that warrant was from 4 years ago, sir. I can't get a signature bond.
No, sir. This is from November, allegedly occurred November 14th of 2018. And the
Yeah.
allegation involves something with your mother. Your mother never told you that she sought for have a arrest warrant?
Oh, sir, I have a great relationship with my mother. This don't even sound right. I'm from 2018.
November 14th, 2018.
I'm highly confused about this, sir. I'm sure she will clear all this up. I'm highly confused.
Well, hey, all I'm saying is that the allegation is something occurred at Debbie Lane, and that allegation is that you damaged property belonging to your mother.
My mother doesn't even stay on Debbie Lane, sir.
Okay. So let me explain maybe something to you. This is a warrant that an officer came in to request from a judge. So the only way that officer gets the information is that your mother told the officer that information.
For damaged property.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Murphy. Do you believe police officers have the time to just go and just put charges on people?
Yeah. Like, do you?
Hold on,
So-
hold on. Hold on for a second.
So, Mr. Murphy,
Yes, sir.
who do you believe called law enforcement to come to your mother's house and for your mother to say something about you? Who in the world can you believe thought that up?
Sir, it's to be honest, it's so many people against me. This is not even what I expected. I have no clue, sir. I really don't.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe that that officer woke up that day and said, I want to go put charges on Deontay Murphy, so I'm going to just make some stuff up about something that happened at his mother's house? Do you believe that?
Honestly, I don't know what to believe, sir. And like I had said, my mother doesn't even stay over there. But I understand.
I'm gonna say this to you, Mr. Murphy. And law enforcement officers in the room, they know it, and I know it. Sometimes the people that you think are your friends are the ones that are snitching you out. And then when that happens, they're like, oh man, I don't know. Why they arrest you? What's going on? And that's the same person that snitched you out.
Thanks, sir. You're right.
So you could continue living that life and thinking the people that are smiling in your face are your friends. Or you can get smart and say, you know what? I gotta keep, as they say, keep my enemies close. Because I want to know what my enemies are thinking, what my enemies are saying. So I'll just tell you this, sir, and this would be a piece of free advice. From what I've read, your mother is a person that snitched on you. And you can believe it or not. But that's what happened. And you can get smart, or you can stay, as they say, game goofy. And you can keep walking around with these people next to you that they just can't wait to snitch you out.
Right, sir.
So I hope my words have helped you. But sir, I'll tell you this. Most law enforcement officers I know, they want to go to work and go home.
Correct.
They have no interest in what your life is, or what's going on with you. They have no interest at all. They got their own stuff that they're trying to deal with. So I hope my words may help you, sir, as you move along in the future. But you're free to go back. Mr. Ray. Sir, you're charged with several felony offenses, and I am setting bond on each of these offenses. You're charged with one count of party to the commission of a crime, bond is set at $5,000. Charged with one count of burglary, bond is set at $10,000. One count of interference with government property, bond is set at $5,000. One count of crossing the guard line, that's a felony offense, bond is set at $5,000. One count violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, bond is going to be set at $10,000. One count of criminal trespass, bond is set at $5,000. And one count of use or possession of drug-related objects, bond is set at $1,500. Because of these felony offenses, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Ray. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm sorry, sir.
Sir.
Okay. All right, you're free to go back, Mr. Ray. Mr. Roberts. Ms. Roberts, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. Because it's a misdemeanor offense, your preliminary hearing date is going to be held on January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. This date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working, Mr. Roberts?
Yes, sir.
But how much do you make per hour? I'm sorry, sir.
$12.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Roberts. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, sir.
Okay. All right. You're free to go back, Mr. Roberts.
All right. Yeah, cool.
You too. Mr. Smith.
Other side.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, sir, you're charged with 1 count of theft by taking. And this is a felony offense. I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I don't know how to answer that, Your Honor, because this situation happened at my job. But I do make $22.50 an hour and 24 on the weekend. But I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know if I still got a job.
Okay, so let's break it down. Once, do you want me to even make the attempt to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir.
You said yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Smith. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Can I bring the money up to the jailhouse to bond out? Go through a bondsman.
You have those three. You have 3 options available to you. You can bring the entire amount to the sheriff's department. They'll hold that until your case is over, and then they'll return that amount to you. You can go through a bonding company. Bonding company is going to charge you a fee. Whatever they charge you, they keep. You can, if you got property that has at least 3 times the assessed amount of your bond, you can put that property up. Sheriff's Department will place a lien on that property, and when your case is over, they'll take the lien off.
So if I got jury in my property right now that way out to the amount of my bond, I can leave that with the sheriff office. I got a whole bunch of jury up there. So I'm just saying, if they want to get some of that jury, they can have it.
Well,
I'm just trying to figure out, can I bond myself out right now? 'Cause I got money and jury in my property right now.
well, yes, sir. You can bond yourself out, but the sheriff's department is not a pawn shop.
Oh, I'm just, it hold equal value. They can appraise the diamonds or whatever they want to do. I mean, but I go through a bondsman. I don't have the same amount in my property.
I mean, and you can do that. And if you believe that the property has that kind of value, you can have somebody come in and you release your property to that person. That person can take that property to a pawn shop or whatever and get the cash and come back. But sheriff's department is only going to deal in cash. They're not going to deal.
Yes, sir, I was just impatient. I wanted to walk off without having to call nobody, but I can get the cash up here. That's needed. Appreciate everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just letting you know that they're, as they would say, they're lanes. So Sheriff's Department is not going to be taking your jewelry
Yes, sir.
and trying to appraise your jewelry. But they will do what is appropriate under the law.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Is it Seifel?
On you go.
Good morning, sir. You're charged with 1 count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon. I'm going to set a bond at $10,000. You're charged with 1 count of a misdemeanor terroristic threats. And I'm going to set the bond at $3,000. Because of the felony, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
Are you currently working?
No.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, sir. You're free to go back. Mr. Terrell. Mr. Terrell, sir, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. This is a felony offense. I'm setting the bond at $10,000. 1 count of discharging a firearm near a highway, setting the bond at $5,000. 1 count of cruelty to children in the 1st degree. Bond's going to be set at $5,000. 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. Bond is set at $5,000. And 1 count of reckless conduct. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Did you say yes? Are you currently working?
No, sir. I'm still in school.
Okay. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I find that you do qualify. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Terrell? Okay, sir. You're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. White. Mr. White, sir, you're charged with 1 count of public indecency. Bond is set by schedule at $2,000. And you're charged with 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. These are both misdemeanor offenses. So you have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
You do qualify, Mr. White. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Can you repeat the bond?
Yes, sir. You got a total bond of $7,000. It'll be a little bit higher because Sheriff's Department is required to add fees onto the bond, and they have that schedule, which I don't have. So it'll be a little bit north of $7,000.
Okay.
Okay. You got any other questions?
And yes, I was wondering, can I ask what was the reason for them stopping me?
Okay. I'll tell you what's here. Basically, it says that they observe you leaving a McDonald's at 2125 Mount Zion Parkway, and observe you stop to basically urinate is what they're saying. And that's the public indecency part.
Yeah.
And they believe when they made contact with you that you were under the influence. And so that's why they did what they did. But as you stand here, you're an innocent person, and the state has the burden of proving every element of each offense beyond a reasonable doubt.
So what that means?
It means that, one, that's why I make the statement in the beginning of not talking about your case.
Okay.
Because
That's it.
okay. All right, sir. You're free to go back.
Williams.
Mr. Williams.
You old man, come on. Come on, man.
Okay, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. This misdemeanor offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per hour?
Shit, 1,200. Oh, per hour. I'm tripping. $24 an hour.
Okay.
I'm tripping.
All right, sir. I'm going to find that you qualify. Going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay. You're free to go back. Mr. Mahone.
Just give us 1 second. We're gonna clear the room.
Okay.
Before we do, Judge Johnson, last name Johnson, he wanted you to repeat his bond total amount.
Okay. Let me see.
It was 17, I believe.
Oh, it's Aramonte Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Looks like total bond is going to be $50,000.
And then James, and that's the last one.
James.
Y'all should have been listening. Hold on.
Okay, Mr. James is $37,000.
Okay. All right. All right, Judge, we're clearing the room. Give us 1 second.
Okay.
Judge Gardner, what was that first one? I think it was Breonte Alexander.
First person
Yeah,
on the left side was Alexander, and he had 1,000 for loitering or prowling and 5,000 for entering an automobile.
Okay, and I think I got that James guy incorrect. You said 37,000?
Yes, 5,000 for false imprisonment, 15,000 for aggravated assault, $5,000 for battery, 2,000 for cruelty to children, third degree, which is a misdemeanor, 10,000 for robbery, which is felony, and 5,000 for obstructing or hindering an emergency telephone call.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Is this Mr. Mahone? Jesus.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Mahone. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set bond at $3,000. You're charged with 1 count of burglary. I've denied bond at this time for that offense. You're charged with 1 count party to the commission of a crime. I've set a bond at $5,000. 1 count of crossing a guard line, which is a felony offense. I've set the bond at $5,000, and one count of interference with government property, and I've denied bond on that offense. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that you do qualify, Mr. Mahone. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
How did I get the burglary charge?
The burglary charge,
Wasn't it because it was somebody pressed charges?
no, this is an officer reported. So the burglary allegation is based upon a belief that you and another person cut fence at the jail and entered into the property, and that they were appeared to be maybe what the allegation is that they were people who were inmates at the jail were throwing down bed sheets for them to receive contraband. So that's the extent, and I believe it says that it was caught on camera. So you may want to just sit down and have a conversation with your lawyer about the allegations that are being charged towards you. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir. I got another.
Yes, sir.
So if I pay my bond for the 3 charges, for my 3 charges, would I be able to get out?
No, I've denied bond right now on the burglary and the interference with government property. That decision will be revisited, and the district attorney's office, they can turn around and say, hey, we're gonna set them a bond, but it's going to be up to them. Right now, based upon the allegations that I've read, I'm going to deny bond at this stage.
Even if this is my first offense?
Yes, sir. You can't, the first offense thing, like you don't get a free murder. Like you can go your whole life and you shoot and kill somebody. It's not a free shot. And the allegations, based upon what I read, I think there needs to be further thought as to whether you're a person that should be on the street. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go back.
Thanks, real quick, man. This little business, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. I will, as they say, I'll be here all week. Make sure you tip the servers.
Will do.
and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for your service and thank you for your assistance.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Miss West.